Hi everyone, welcome back to my Flosstube. My name is Rachel, this is Lemonade Stitching, and today is my June 2025 wrap-up. So today we're going to talk all things that I cross-stitched in June. It was a big month, huge month for stitching, but before we jump into projects, I thought I'd actually give a quick introduction to myself. My last video that I posted was my mid-year WIP parade, and I know there's a lot of new people that have found me from that video, so I thought I would just do a quick introduction so you know who it is you've stumbled upon. So my name is Rachel, I live in Kentucky, I am 25, almost 26. I turned 26 on August 5th, so we're about a month away from my birthday, which is insane. I live with my fiance, we're getting married this October, and our two cats. We have a tuxedo cat, Sybil, and a gray cat, Lucy, whose new legal name is Lucy Gray, like the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes from the Hunger Games series. That is her new government name, we've decided, because she's gray, so it just fits so perfectly. I obviously love to cross stitch. I love to travel. Cross stitch really is my main hobby and my main love. I've attempted knitting, I do a little sewing, I read sometimes, but knitting lasted about 4 months. Sewing, I hate it every time I do it. And reading, I've mostly transitioned to audiobooks because I can stitch while I listen, but I'm not listening to anything right now. There's nothing that's calling to me. I'm very much like a watch the same TV shows, listen to the same books over and over again kind of person, so there's nothing really new that I am reading right now. As far as what TV shows I like to rewatch over and over again, I'm currently rewatching Game of Thrones and NCIS, and I love to watch The Great British Baking Show. That's one of my fiance's and I's favorite. We obviously love Downton Abbey because that's what we named our cat after, is Sybil from Downton Abbey. And I love old TV shows too. Like I love watching Frasier. That's really the main old TV show that I watch is Frasier, but I haven't watched it in a while. Oh, and Friends, obviously, how can I miss Friends? But yeah, so that's a little about me. I'm actually originally from Western New York. I grew up there. I'm a born and raised Bills fan, and I went to college there, and then after college I was traveling full time, and that's when I met my now fiance, and we moved to Lexington together, and this is where we've ended up. So with that, that's a little about me. If there's anything else you want to know about, oh, and my favorite color is green. I feel like that's a pretty important fact about me, but also something you'll see pretty quickly. But yeah, so that's everything I have about me for now. If there's anything else you want to know about me, please leave me a comment and let me know. And without further ado, we will get into the projects. So the first project I actually want to start with is one that I'm wearing right now. So this is a cross-stitch tee that I made at the beginning of June so that I could wear it to StitchCon. And I'll put up some pictures so you can see it closer up, but it's basically just a row of 5 funky wonky stars from a Blackbird chart, and I just changed the colors. So we've got a couple pinks, couple greens, and like a rusty terracotta orange. The t-shirt itself is just a Comfort Colors t-shirt in the color cream, and I used 14 count waist canvas to stitch the stars 3/1 with DMCs. I just picked colors I liked and kind of found a mix that works for me, and this is how it came out. My only couple things with this shirt are, I wish I had put the stars slightly lower. I feel like they're so high up on my chest. I feel like if they were just down maybe an inch, that would be perfect, but that's okay. I feel like they are kind of the perfect height for the video, so that's a win. And luckily there's only one stitch that got messed up, and it's the very first stitch that I put in. So again, I'll get like a close-up picture of it. And that's the only one where the X kind of went wonky, and other than that, I did a pretty nice job, I think. I made sure not to stretch the t-shirt too much when I was putting it in the hoop. I didn't want it to like stretch out under the waist canvas, and then when I took the hoop out it would shrink up. I meant to put interfacing on the back but didn't, so this is just how it's sitting. I did steam it, full transparency, before wearing it, so hopefully that helped even all the stars out, but pretty basic, pretty fun, and it was fun to have something I stitched to wear at the retreat. And I probably should have mentioned this beforehand, but I'm not going to be talking about any of my StitchCon experience or haul or projects. I saved all of that for its own video, and I posted that earlier in June, so go check that out if you're interested. There are some projects obviously that I worked on at StitchCon that I've worked on since, so you'll see those again with more progress. But if you want to see just what I did at StitchCon, what I got, all that, it's in its own separate video. I did have one other FFO, and this is Takin Inventory, designed by Cam, who has a Flosstube CamTheStitcher, but now has an Etsy and like designer shop called House of Cam. And this is a little small chart she made for our table at StitchCon so that we could use these awesome neon silks from Amity and Erin of the Hathaway Stitchers. And originally this was just designed for our table, but she has released it, so the pattern is live on her Etsy, and I think her Ko-Fi too, so you can go grab this if you're interested for just a couple of dollars. It does say Takin Inventory at the top because that is a little inside joke among our friend group, but it basically just refers to like putting all of our cross-stitch supplies in Notion and looking at our Notion and touching all our stuff and seeing what we've got and whatever. So I did a pretty cute out of the box for me finish with some trim and like hot pink tinsel, and I think this turned out super nice, and it's just got a little holder on the back so that it can sit up for when I take inventory of all my supplies. And this project was stitched 2/2 on a 32 count blue lugana. It didn't have a name, it's just a scrap of lugana. Alright, for the next part of the video, I want to talk all about the Strawberry Moon SAL. If you're not familiar, Marjorie of Marjorie Made created the hashtag Strawberry Moon SAL last year of 2024. And so we revived that again this year, and basically the entire month of June, we were just trying to stitch strawberries. So coincidentally, Takin Inventory did account for that because it's got 2 strawberries, but it wasn't one of my like original considerations for the Strawberry Moon SAL. I had 3 other projects that I was working on. So overall, I actually stitched 7,122 stitches this month just on my strawberry projects for Strawberry Moon SAL. And I did put up a little graphic on my Instagram story just to kind of show my progress, but of course, I'm gonna show you here. So my first project of Strawberry Moon SAL was Modern Pop Art Strawberry by Box and Fox. This is stitched 2/1 on 18 count white Aida with all the called for TMC colors. And originally this is a rectangular piece, but I have decided as of this year to crop it into a square. So my new progress percentage is 51%, and I have the full height and width. I'm basically just chopping the piece like around the middle and just only doing that many strawberries. So this is about 50%, 51%, and I don't really pick this one up very many other times throughout the year, so this will probably wait to be loved until next Strawberry Moon SAL of 2026 and just hang out in the WIP pile until then. Project number 2 was a new start, and this was June by Crocette a Gogo. And this is my progress on so far. I stitched 642 stitches on this month, and that puts me at 51% for this project as well. I am stitching this 2/2 on 32 count beautiful beige linen with mostly the called for colors. There might be a couple substitutions to very similar colors, but for the most part, I think I had all the called for in stash for this one. This one I do want to finish before the end of the year, so I'll probably pick it back up again in August to finish it out. It's only got another 800, or no, what does this have? I'm realizing my Notion was doing something funky, so I actually have 845 stitches done on this, not 600. But anyway, so there's only about 850 stitches left, 800 stitches left. So this will hopefully be an August finish, so I can get it FFO'd, and then I only have 1 more to do from this series, and I'll be done. My third Strawberry Moon SAL project this year is Strawberry Naps by Lindy Stitches. This was another new start, and I got 4,391 stitches done to bring this project to 78%. So I only have about 1,200 stitches left. So again, I'm hoping to finish this in August, But here is my progress. I'm stitching this cutie little cat on 32 count light pink lugana from Color and Cotton. I'm using a mix of colors. So my pink strawberries and my green leaves are Dinky Dyes. My gray cat is DMC 535 to match Lucy. And also stitching this cat is what I was stitching this while listening to the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. So that's also where Lucy Gray came from, is I was stitching 5,000 gray stitches. So here she is, cute little Lucy Gray. And then there's also some white, yellow, and black in here, and that is just DMC as called for. I'm really happy with the progress on this, except I think I'm gonna change to red strawberries. I wasn't ready to commit yet, so that's why the pink is still in there, but I'm gonna stitch a red strawberry next and see what I think of it, and then I might rip those out and redo them in a red dinky dye, which I do have. Sorry for the dryer noise in the background. I thought I would love the pink variegation, but I just don't. So you might see those strawberries change color next time you see this. But again, this is Strawberry Naps by Lindy Stitches. And thankfully the cat is fully stitched. I knew if I put this away and didn't work on it for a while and then picked it up and I had to stitch that huge color block section, wasn't gonna happen for me. So that is why I opted to stitch the whole cat and really put all my time and energy into that project the last several days to get that cat done before Strawberry Moon SAL ended. My next two projects are probably the most boring of the bunch, but don't worry, I have some more fun stuff coming up after this. First, I've got Baldaquin Birdies, which is the Modern Folk Embroidery 2025 stitch along, and I am stitching this 1/2 on 40 count flax with Gentle Arts Witching Hour. And I put in a ton of work on this this past month to finish the border. I was working on this really heavily right before StitchCon because I wanted to be caught up with my like daily goals, monthly goals before leaving so that I wouldn't have to work on it at StitchCon, which I did do. I stitched a ton on this in like 1 or 2 days. But then I came home from StitchCon and did not pick it back up. So we're no longer caught up, but that's okay. I think we're like 2 weeks behind. I haven't double checked that math, but I think we're 2 weeks behind. So I decided to work down the side and just do like little bits and pieces to work on the counting so that I could get the border extended all the way down and then finish out the frame and cut the fabric. So this is the final size of the piece, and now I just have to continue filling it in. So again, this is Baldaquin Birdies by Modern Folk Embroidery, and I'm really happy with the progress on this so far. Another project that I went absolutely nuts for before going to StitchCon was Flowers of Rosehall by Rosewood Manor. And for some reason, this project was just calling to me, so I pulled it out and I got about 2,000 stitches done this month. And I was having a really fun time kind of hopping around and working in different places. I got the alphabet put in, which really motivated me to keep going. And this is where we're at. This is the full height and width. So I was finally able to cut this fabric. It's so small, like it's so much smaller than I would have thought it was, but it's very cute. I like how the colors are coming together. Definitely now that I've got more progress done, it looks a lot nicer and I'm more happy with it. But here it is again. Folded it nice and close to the edges, and I'll get close so you can see the details. Again, this is Flowers of Rosehall, and I'm stitching this 1/2 on Winter Moon with all the called for Valdani silks, and it's about 34% complete. So it is getting put away for now. I don't have firm plans on when I'll pull this back out. But I'm happy I was able to get some progress in. And I do always like to show the silks for this one because they're so pretty. So there are the silks all together. It's crazy the difference between like the silks on the skein and then the silks one-stranded stitching with them. It like took my brain a minute to kind of make the connection and be like, oh yes, this is the same silk. Like it is the same color, it's okay. Because it just wasn't like as vibrant as I was expecting, which makes sense. It's only one strand. My next project I am really excited to show, and I actually have a little task slash way to involve you all in this project. So this is Anna Funk, and this is a chart by Erica Michaels. It is a reproduction of a really cute sampler. And the story of Anna Funk is that she was moving to the United States with her parents, so she was leaving behind all her friends, and she asked them to stitch a little motif to go on her sampler so that she could stitch a friendship sampler and remember them and whatever. They didn't stitch it, they designed it. And so I really like this chart. I really liked the fun, funky colors, but I wanted to brighten it up and make it really just funky, you know, keep it up to its name. So my strategy was to just go pick a ton of really bright colors. So I got a rainbow with a couple different shades of each color and just kind of made myself a color palette. And originally I was going to just pull colors as they called to me. I wasn't gonna go in with a firm plan. That stressed me out, so I tried to make a plan, and then that stressed me out. So then I was back to square one, and I was like, what do I even do? And I decided while at StitchCon to have my friends pick the colors for one motif. Like each friend chose a motif and picked the colors that I should stitch it in. And then it was kind of my own way to make it my friendship sampler without redesigning the whole thing. So my progress so far on Anna Funk, I have stitched down the left side. I've put several people's motifs in. I do still have some more that are like ready to be put in. I'm just not there yet. But this is how it's looking. And again, every single motif on here, a different person picked the colors that I should stitch them with. So I'm interested to see if anyone can guess any of the Flosstubers that chose colors. I think I'm gonna do a poll on my Instagram story sometime soon and see what you guys think. I don't know if I'll do it while I'm still working on the project or after I'm done, but I'm interested to see if anyone has guesses on which Flosstubers chose which motifs. I don't think I said, I'm stitching this 2/2 on 32 count Baby Sheep by SU Designs, which is like a light buttery yellow. It's like a neutral yellow color. And where I need your all's help is the next motif that I have to stitch is this like branch here. This one in the center. And the next person that has done colors for me, I think is this motif down here with the little petals. And so I want to stitch this branch before I, you know, count over and start working on the alphabet or anything else so that I can get over to these motifs over here. So I have already picked a motif and chosen colors. My fiance also picked a motif and chose colors. So I thought it would be fun to have you guys choose the colors to stitch this branch. There's going to end up being 4 colors. So there is the color of the actual branch, which in the cover photo is brown, and I'll put like a zoomed in photo on the screen so you can see. So you're gonna need to replace the brown, the orange, the dark purple, and the light purple. So 4 colors in total. And I do have, you know, a brown, a dark purple, a light purple, and an orange, but the whole idea behind all these is that they don't have to stay the same colors that they were charted in. They can use any group of colors that people like. So I'm gonna put up another little graphic on the screen. So if you're stitching right now, this is a good time to look up. But basically, I want you to take a minute and look at all the colors. If you're interested, take a look at all the colors that I have, and I'll list them all for you and put them on the screen. And see how you would change this. How would you replace each color? And if you're interested in possibly like putting forth a suggestion, please put it in your comment and use the word funky, and I'll use a random comment generator to pick someone's comment and stitch this next motif with your color palette that you chose. So to read off the list for you, we'll go in rainbow order starting with red. We've got Candy Apple by Weeks Dye Works, Blaze by Weeks Dye Works, Goldenrod by Gentle Arts, DMC 472, Spring Grass by Gentle Arts, Key Lime by Gentle Arts, Tutti Frutti by Gentle Art, Cerulean by Gentle Art, Blooming Crocus by Classic Colorworks, Grape Fizz by Gentle Art, Dark Chocolate by Gentle Art, DMC 434, Carrie Berry by Classic Colorworks, Hibiscus by Gentle Art, and Cherry Wine by Gentle Art. So again, I've got all the colors and a picture up on the screen for you. Pause the video if you need, but choose a replacement again for brown, orange, dark purple, and light purple. And let me know in your comment how you would design this motif, and use the word funky, and I will randomly pick a comment and use one of my subscribers' suggested colors in my Anno Funk sampler. I do have just one more WIP to show you today, and this actually isn't a project of mine. It is a project of Cam's from CamTheStitcher, and this is the last installment of our WIP exchange that I've been doing with Cam, Bridget the Museum Stitcher, and Elizabeth from Lindy Stitches. We all chose a project that we wanted help getting progress in on, and we've been passing them around round robin style. And I just finished my work on Cam's, so now I'm getting ready to send this back, and then I'm done with the WIP exchange until I get my project back from Elizabeth. So this is the misspelled sampler, and I don't have the details for the fabric or anything, but this is my progress on Cam's project. So if you're interested, go check out her channel. I know she talks about this in her WIP parade. Go check out her channel for the full details on the misspelled sampler. But this is where everyone's 2,000 stitches got us to. My contribution for this was mainly in the words, and then in the tree on the left-hand side. And I think I did one of these birds, one or two of the birds. And then I also did just a little bit of work on the other tree, but that was already started. And then I finished the verse. It was weird stitching this and having the words spelled wrong. The first time I actually saw this on Bridget's video when she had done her progress, I was like, why is it spelled like that? Like, why are the words wrong? And then I realized or remembered that it's literally the misspelled sampler. Like, that's part of the whole point, is that the words are all spelled wrong. So that is my progress. I'm getting ready to send this girl home. She's been on a little adventure since market this year, so it is time to return her. And this is the color palette. I'm kind of sad to see the colors go because they're so pretty. Pink and orange, a little blue. Absolutely stunning, but I think it's time to send it home, and I'm excited to see Delft Blooms when I get it back from Elizabeth, because I haven't seen that since March either. So it'll be cool to see it and have a little piece of all the girls in my project. So like I said, those are all the WIPs and projects that I worked on this month, but I do have some haul that I want to share, so that's going to be this next section of the video. So first up, I have a Facebook D-Stash purchase, and that is 4 new Mill Hill kits. So I got the triple scoop ice cream cone. I also got the Charmed Stocking St. Nick version. So it's a little stocking with Santa Claus, very cute. And I got the pizza slice. And I did get one other, but this is gonna be a Christmas gift, so I don't wanna show it too close up. You might have seen what it was, but I'm gonna not give the details on it yet because I'm stitching it for somebody. I also placed a Hollis Hand Creates order when I got home from StitchCon. I was hoping to get my hands on some Dolomite, either in the annex or from Lindy Stitches or something, but it's a good fabric, so it was hard to come by. But I was able to get a fat quarter of 40 count Dolomite by Fiber on a Whim, and this is actually the called for fabric for the Midsummer Stitch exclusive from Dread X Stitch. That felt like a mouthful. And from the sneak peeks, I'm really excited for it. So I wanted to have the called for in stash so that I could start that pretty soon after Midsummer Stitch. I also have a new LNS in Lexington, which is really exciting. It's called Stitch Therapy, and it was originally a Houston-based shop, but I think they were sold and moved and whatever, and now they're in Lexington, which is awesome for me. So I did stop by to check it out and say hi and whatever, And I picked up, of course, a blackbird. It's not me if I go into an LNS and I don't get a blackbird. So I got Eleanor Rigby, and this is another one that I've liked for a while, and so I saw it and said, yeah, that seems like a good little purchase to make at the LNS. So Eleanor Rigby by Blackbird Designs. My last piece of haul I actually ordered as soon as I got home from StitchCon, and this is a metal stand, either for a tablet or a paper pattern or whatever. And I have it covered with stickers. You've probably seen so many of these on Flosstube. I know a lot of people have them for retreats and stuff. And at first I didn't get one because like I have an iPad, I don't need it. But I really wanted to cover it with stickers, and I had FOMO after like Bridget and Marjorie got one, and it's literally $7.99. So I was like, yeah, whatever, I'm getting one. And it's been fun to have this on the couch and like spruce up my stitching area. And I actually was stitching off of a couple paper patterns. I was stitching off of the June paper pattern, and I feel like there was something else that it was nice to have this stand for. And it's magnetic, so it's another place that I can put a needle minder and throw my needle while I'm working. And this has just been a nice little addition to my stitchy setup. That is all the haul, and the last thing I want to talk about is plans. So in July, I have two things to talk about. First is Midsummer Stitch with this fabric. Midsummer Stitch is happening mid-July, so I am planning on getting a ticket. I am definitely going to do some shopping for Midsummer exclusives, but I don't think I'm really going to be able to attend any of it because I am traveling for a wedding that weekend. So I definitely won't be available Friday because that's when the wedding is. And then we're traveling at least half the day on Saturday, maybe the whole day. So not sure what that's gonna look like for me. Again, I wanna get in and do some shopping, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to really hang out in the stitching rooms. Might do some lurking in the car, not too sure. But unfortunately, I'm probably not gonna be able to make most of this retreat this year. Something I am doing this month is Christmas in July. So I did this last year and I was excited to do it again this year. And I am focusing on my 3 Christmas WIPs. So I've got Merry Christmas by Hobby House, Marshmallow World by Heartstring Samplery, and Celtic Noel by Lavender and Lace. So those are the 3 projects that I am focusing on. And total, I think they have like 16 or 17,000 stitches and beads left. So that's a little much for me to finish all of them this month. So instead, my goal is to do at least 8,000 stitches on them, like half of that total, and get it to a point where I can finish them in December, or maybe even a little before if I continue working on them after July. But that is the goal, is to get Marshmallow World and Merry Christmas to at least 50%, and then Celtic Noel to 75%, and then I'll be in a great spot to finish them before the end of the year. I might even throw in a new star, a new Christmas star, but we're gonna see how the WIP progress goes, and then maybe at the end of July, I'll have a Christmas star as a little reward for myself. Well, you guys, that is everything I have to share with you today. Thank you so much for watching. I do have some more like vlog style or Flosstube extra videos planned for the next few weeks, so please keep an eye out for those if you're interested. Also, please give me your suggestions for the Anna Funk branch and leave me your suggested color palettes in the comments. I'm excited to read through those and see all your ideas and pick one and continue stitching on that. I was kind of sad when I stopped, and I was like, I either have to count or stop and wait till I see another friend to pick out colors. So I'm really glad that this is a way I can involve you all in that project. And yeah, I think that's everything for now. I will see you guys soon, and happy stitching.